Without further ado, Mr. Denny Fraser.
Wasn't that nice? I have not been involved with a wedding that didn't stick. All of my weddings have stuck pretty darn good. I've got a good record, so I'm proud of that. There we go. But, you know, there's always a chance I do a little divorce law too, so if you people are always coming to me and saying, I want to get more out of life. I want to get paid more. I want to have more benefits in my job. I want more things. Because if you want something better out of your life, you have to do something different. We recognized at my middle-aged point that if I wanted to do something in my life that gave me a career that could perhaps help me through that middle-aged period when you can't climb on roofs and you can't drive nails, you literally can't motivate your workers like Joe motivates his workers. You want to go into something that you can earn your way off of yourself. So, oddly enough, and this is kind of a confession, all of this came out of an affair that I had. Now, it's not an affair. It's not an affair like our politicians have. It wasn't an affair with a human being. And I know that sounds a little creepy, and it also wasn't an affair with a non-human or an animal. But I've always been an entrepreneur. But I started working on this law school thing. It was something that I had an idea that I would like to do. I didn't know if I could do it because I had that same lack of confidence that all of us our age have about going back into a competitive market with a lot of young people like these folks here who are very smart, very quick, very agile. They can stay up past 9. That's a plus, I tell you what. Staying up past 9. And Debbie, my rock, basically said, if you want to do this and you think you can, give it a try. Because she knows, like, law school is a process that you just don't walk up and knock on the door and say, I want to sign up. I went back, took a couple of the courses at USC, and I did really well because something has happened to some of the young people. They've all got a 4.0 or a 4.5 or a 4.6. But they're not as competitive as you might think. So I did okay in the undergraduate world. I went over to Buford and did some things, and that was enjoyable. I got some confidence built up. So I decided it was time to let the law school know what I was thinking about. And the only one I could go to was the University of South Carolina because it was close. But I decided that I would call them and apply for an interview. I called him up and I said, well, you know, I feel like I would like an interview. I think you guys need to get to know me. And he was a really nice guy. He said, well, we'll set you up for an interview. And I put in my application, and this is the first chapter. So you're gonna love this. And it is raining like nothing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm there early, I have an umbrella, and I bought a suit. And it's blue pinstripe. I looked like a Supreme Court justice. I wasn't a lawyer, and I may never be one, but damn it, I looked like a lawyer. I really did. I started saying, I wish I probably looked more like one. And so I park about 6 blocks away, and it is pouring rain. It's blowing about 30 miles an hour. It's raining sideways. I've got an umbrella. And I go to the law school 6 blocks away with my little umbrella. And I am being rained on. I'm crossing the street in ankle-deep water. I'm squishing. It's about 67 degrees in there, and I'm wet to the bone. And so hypothermia is setting in. I couldn't feel my extremities, but the suit was beginning to dry out, and not only was drawing up a little bit in all the places you don't want a suit to draw, but it was a nice wool suit. It smelled, wool is an animal, right? It began to have a good animal odor to it. I think it's made out of a goat or a sheep or something. Anyway, I smell like a wet sheep. Yeah, the concept of a zipper. All right. There's a thing. There's a thing on the bottom, and it's a brand new suit. It hadn't been tested by anybody. All right, there's a thing on the bottom of the zipper that keeps the zipper from going off. That thing by somebody in China, and I think Donald Trump's on this, that thing was not there. And so the little zipper thing came off. Carry a portfolio or a pad with you so you look like you're ready to take notes. That was part of the, you're supposed to ask questions in an interview now. And so you're ready and you're taking notes. I've got notes. So I've got a pad with me. And so I'm walking like this. It's complete cover for the difficulty I was having. So I go down to the end of the building and I open up the door into this guy's office. His name is Ralph McCullough. Heck of a nice guy. And it is a mahogany, gorgeous, it is a law office. He obviously was somebody there, I don't know. Everything put away, he had on the French cuffs. This guy looked so sharp. He was the opposite of me. He did not smell like an animal. I pretty much could tell that, but I did. So I met the guy. I felt a little sheepish.
That was good.
I felt a little sheepish, but I met the guy. I figured, what have I got to lose? I'm going to go for it. I've got my pad. I'm shaking hands with him. And we have a good interview. We're in the same demographic, not in the same economics. This guy's doing good. He's one of those professors that had a real job and came in and taught law school for fun. He kind of said one of those things like from Risky Business, like, I think the University of South Carolina Law needs a guy like you. And so I thought it was great. Got ready to get up, forgot I had that book in my lap. And the book falls to the floor, and when I leaned out to get it, there's an anomaly that happens. And so I knew when I walked out of his office that I needed to go back to my good home. I had looked over that Google sheet that I had, and nowhere in there did it say to go to a first interview with your private parts exposed. Second or third, maybe, not the first. I just left. I knew this was not for me. What a stupid idea. I was in reality now. Anyway, next Wednesday I got my envelope. They accepted me. So that worked out pretty well. That was, I've already given you the first chapter, so you can just go to chapter 2. That's in there. And I thought you would enjoy that. Here's what started happening, and this touched me, and this is part of why I wrote the book. I have had the honor, after I got in law school, of having people, and I don't mean 2 or 3, I mean dozens, if not hundreds over time, people I knew, people who I was acquainted with, come and find me and say, I hear you've gone back to school to become a lawyer. And I would say, yeah. And the next thing they would say, but it was always a 3, the next thing they would say is, I could never do that. And of course they could. But they'd say, I could never do that. And then the next thing, they would tell me their story about what they wanted to be. And I began to realize that there were many, many people. I would say there are many people in this room right now, and it certainly would be no embarrassment in a show of hands, but there are people in here, I guarantee you, that had obligations, children, family, parents, debts, commitments, and they had something on a shelf that they were going to get back to, and that got away from them. And I began to hear these stories. I would love to write that book, because they would all tell me their story. It would be, I wanted to become an accountant, I wanted to become a lawyer, I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a taxidermist, I wanted to be a taxi driver. They wanted to be something that they never got around to, and somehow I became their poster child. I felt that my book would be somewhat helpful to let people see there's a lighthearted side to it, there's a realistic side to it, and there is a reward for whatever you pick if you can stick with it and make it all the way through. So I'm reaching out to the whole crowd that's our age to say, I'm your poster child. If I can do it, I'm the Mikey with the cereal. If I can do it, anybody on the planet.
Can I say something?
Don can say something.
I'm the only one in here that's read the book.
No boy.
Oh.
So I can tell you all the lies I
All
want
the
to.
way.
I have to come clean. I do get a percentage of his savings.
He does.
But I've read the book. And he's talking now about the motivational side of the book. And it's in there. But I guarantee you, if you know Denny and you read this book, every word in there is just like he spoke tonight. It's him speaking. And I have had tears in my eyes from laughing about his statement in this book. So please buy the book. I need the money.